I think I sometimes face this problem, and I've seen like others face the same thing. When we like to set the goal, like setting the goal is there, we can do the goal and we'll achieve it. And then, but sometimes coming to the implementation of the task to achieve the goal, that part, I think a lot of people face this sort of laziness, or we can do it tomorrow, procrastinate. So are there any tips to actually maybe implement those tasks to achieve your
Okay,
goal,
this is
the goal setting?
yeah, all of us go through the same thing. See, we have some interesting things to do, so that excites us. Okay, we get excited about it. Let's say it's a competition, and then we visualize that, okay, once I am able to build this thing, it'll be super good, it'll be nice to things like that. So so we get excited, we have something in our mind for the future which is exciting, but the problem is, you plan it out, okay, you plan it out, but when you start doing it, then the problems come.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's a natural stages that we go through. There is no shortcut. You just have to sit in front of your computer.
Is there anything that
do.
motivates you to sort of, is it something like you do, like something different, or some technique that you maybe try?
I think the goal basically inspires us to do. But it's not like every single minute you are remembering about the goal and then you get inspired. Nobody gets inspired like that. If you had to achieve something, you have to go through a procedure. And if you follow this process, you're going to reach there. Then you have to just do it.
Trust the process.
There is no easy things. But again, being in a group, that will really help. Being in a group of, let's say, 3-4 people, trying to do the same thing, and then meet every day, every 2 days, that will really help you. Because now the issue is that now your parents are paying for your studies. Okay. So you are not responsible for your own growth. But for example, in US and Europe, students take a loan. They take another 20-30 years to pay back the loan. So now we are being so pampered. Our parents are providing us everything, so we are not responsible for our own self. So but that's okay, that's what it is. We can't help with that. But what we can do is, we can sit every single day and try to spend 1 or 2 hours. 2 hours is more than enough. 2 or 3 hours on certain problems, and then try to do that. So another thing you can definitely, there is few tips kind of thing. If you are not able to focus a lot on one single thing for 3 months, put 2-3 different things. For example, let's say you're going to organize a podcast like this. So you're spending, let's say, 10-20% of your time in that. Okay, so that's something creative and interesting, that has some creative output. Okay, that few people are like that. I'm like that. So I like making creative presentations. So what I do is, if I'm really not able to focus on something, okay, let me create a presentation about this. So I do certain things like that. So every time, even if you're not interested to do fully into one project, you put some amount of time into, let's say, 3 things. This assignment is one thing. I'm going to do a short presentation or a short class on a particular topic. That is the second thing. Okay, because I'm going to teach others, so that will be more interesting. And then I'm going to host some podcast, or some I'm going to make a newsletter kind of thing for the club. We'll all get together. So that can be the third thing. So it's okay to not make much progress in the first thing. Let's say the project thing, which you plan for 6 months. No, it's a larger time frame thing. So you spend only, let's say, 30-40% of your time on that. Rest of the time you spend on these other activities. So even if you make a little bit progress on the project, you're not dropping out from that. But if you try to focus all your time on the project itself, sometimes it may be too hard for you.
Mhm.
So you split up your time 60, 20, 20 like that. But don't completely change your focus only onto the other stuff. Okay. So this is like a supporting thing, because still you are doing it with the same set of people, you're doing it with the same set of group and like-minded people, then that will basically motivate you further. So even if you're not able to make progress in 1 or 2 weeks, that's okay. Just rewind back after 2 weeks and see if you were able to make the progress on that side. So that way you balance it out.
Mm.
That's the issue that many of us have. But the challenge there is, some of us, what we do is, if you're not able to find progress in, let's say, this project or assignment, we'll completely take off, and then we'll just do some random stuff which it's not creative, which is not having any kind of output. We just waste our time. So instead of wasting our time, just channelize it into some other creative activities like this. uh, among the group members, among the FOSS club itself. Why I am again reiterating that point is because all of you are skilled, all of you have a very good skill level, all of you are motivated, like-minded, have interest, uh, and if you spend another three years like this or 2 years like this, you're going to have a lot of opportunities that will come knocking at your doors. So that's one tip I also do myself. So
I
it
think
can be,
that's,
yeah, it's
yeah, go
something
ahead.
called as sajatiya vritti in Sanskrit, which means you are not trying to focus on the same thing again and again, uh, but your thoughts are not completely opposite to this direction. Your thoughts are somewhere related to it. Okay, so it's like
Oh,
newsletter,
okay.
podcast, or you do a class about this, whatever you learn. You may want to achieve 100, but let's say you're able to achieve only 40. So let me teach the first 20% to somebody, and somebody can maybe inspired to do that aside. So like that, it's all related to the same area. So your thought, our thoughts have a way of thinking. It very difficult to make it think in the same direction, but it can go here and there, but you make sure it is around the same area. So that's a trick. That's a mind trick.